Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the time. Let me introduce myself. My name is Amalia Zukra, Civil Engineering Magister student of University of Indonesia. In this presentation, my research title is Integration of Mode Transfer Facilities at Transit Node Based on Community Preferences. My presentation consists of the following parts: introduction, method, result and discussion, and the last is conclusion. Okay, let's begin with what is intermodal integration. Based on core test 2021, intermodal integration is the overall integration used to move people and or goods from one place, the origin, to another, the destination. Naumann said that network integration is the key the success of public transportation service system in a region or city. Also, Hada said network integration can lead to other integrations, such as a physical schedule and fare integration. Transportation system can prioritize serving the requirements of people through coordinating payment methods, timetable, intermodal connection, information, and services. Jakarta is one of the cities in Indonesia that has a high level of movement. DKI Jakarta serves daily movement of 25.4 million trips with a population of more than 15,000 people per square kilometer. The population always increases every year. The high level of mobility in Jakarta needs to be balanced with the availability of transportation that can meet the daily movement needs of the community. There are MRT, LRT, commuter line, also BRT Transjakarta. The current development of transportation facilities and infrastructure in the city of Jakarta makes people many choices of transportation modes for their needs. However, there are still many facilities and infrastructure developments that stand alone without taking into account intermodal transfer. Modal transfer activities need to be made easier, faster, and more convenient so that there will be opportunities for better travel as well as more travel frequency for current and future passengers. At transit nodes, sometimes people have to deal with transfer facilities that are considered less human. To change lane or modes, must walk up long enough stairs and often do not take into account safety factors for all people. The lack of integration of transfer facilities sometimes makes time travel longer when compared to use private vehicle. The purpose of this study is to evaluate the integration of transfer mode facilities and analyze the impact of walking time and waiting time for public transportation as one of the service accessibility factors and its influence on the willingness to use public transportation. Data collection by direct interview and questionnaire distribution for transit node users based on Sugiono. Minimum sample size for research that includes statistical data analysis is 30 samples, and the location study we choose at Dukuh Atas Node Area. The Dukuh Atas Node Area is a transit-oriented development area. That is the meeting of 5 types mode public transportation. There are MRT Jakarta, LRT on construction progress, BRT Transjakarta, commuter, and also airport train. Evaluation of transfer facilities relate to physical facilities 5 variables, each consisting of several indicators. Then the preferences scenarios consist of walking time and waiting time scenarios. Likert scale was employed in this study to evaluate participants' familiarity with objectivity to work and perspective on a social issue. The variables that need to be altered will convert into variable indicators based on the Likert scale. Each instrument that use Likert scale has answers that range from very positive to very negative. Uh, Variable for evaluation of transfer facilities, there are proximity, connectivity, convenience, security, and health. And each variable has several indicators. The preferences scenario, there are walking time and waiting time. The dependent variables aims to measure the level of customer satisfaction with the integration of transfer facilities at the transit node based on the answers to the questions on the independent variable. Linear regression analysis is used to determine the relationship between the variables of proximity, connectivity, safety, comfort, and healthy to the level of customer satisfaction. From the results of the evaluation of the integration of modal transfer facilities, the most influential factor is proximity, where this proximity factor includes distance, walking time, and mode waiting time. Furthermore, it will be investigated how the influence of walking time and mode waiting time on users' willingness to switch to using public transportation in meeting their daily travel needs. The 50 and 70 percentile analysis shows that at the current transit node, the time required for people to walk is in the range of 7 to 11.5 minutes, and expected time to walk is 5 minutes, while the time required to wait for public transportation modes is in the range of 15 to 20 minutes, and the expected time is in the range of 5 to 10 minutes. The result of analyze the impact of walking time and waiting time for public transportation as one of the service accessibility factors and its influence on the willingness to use public transportation shows that the walking time variable is positive. This indicates that there is a greater influence of the increased respondents in interest in switches activities, and the waiting time is negative. The greater the influence that of this variable on the decreased respondents' interest in switches activities at the transit nodes. The conclusion of my paper is first, variable integration of transfer facilities that affects the level of customer satisfaction at the Duku Atas transit node is proximity about 26%, connection is 10.5%, comfort 13.8%, security 1.6%, and health 0.4%. The most dominant factor that greatly affects the level of user satisfaction is the proximity factor, in which there are components of distance between station or stop, walking time, and mode waiting time. The third is walking time has a positive influences and considerable significances on the willingness of the community to carry out modal-based activities at the transit node, while the waiting time of the mode has a negative effect and low significances. And thus, the lack of schedule compatibility between modes is also a consideration for people in choosing public transportation modes. Okay, that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. Thank you.